Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and I thought I would bring back something that I haven't done since last fall or winter. I don't think I've done it within the new year. I was doing before readings that were just for the divine masculine and just for the divine feminine, kind of insight into what you can do to manifest your highest and best, to become your highest and best. um, in regards to how you feel about yourself, in regards to healing from situations we've gone through, what positive affirmations or thoughts that you can say or think in order to have a better perspective on things, what might be coming in regards to love and possible career stuff. And I did it a little bit differently in regards to the challenges, obstacles, or chakras we might need to work on. I decided with the new version of this spread to do each individual chakra, and what in that individual chakra needs work on. So that's the only thing that's a little bit different compared to how I used to do it. And again, remember, these readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Also keep in mind that masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender. So again, if this doesn't resonate with you and you're female and this is the feminine reading, check the masculine and vice versa. I will say that in this area here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that were also in the masculine's reading. So we might very well be dealing with, obviously, twin flame soulmate situations. So I thought that was kind of interesting how, again, 4 cards that were in the masculine came out in the feminine as well. So as I mentioned in the weekly readings and stuff, this is kind of like a pivotal moment for some twin flames and soulmates who could be life partners. They obviously had to go through something, be separated, come into their own healing and awareness during that separation. And now is kind of an opportunity or a window of opportunity where a reconciliation can possibly happen for some, or for some, it was just meant to go through a karmic experience, and then we're now healing and learning and applying lessons and so forth, and getting on our path to meet the person that is meant for us. So again, some might be reconciling, some might be healing from something and moving to be with someone else. But I have a feeling that this is going to play a lot in part with the weeklies, the monthlies, in regards to masculines and feminines reconciling. Excuse me, I just had dinner, so, so I'm feeling a bit stuffed. So let's get into the reading, feminines, and see how we can help heal. And this is going to be a new thing that I'm going to be doing bi-weekly. So this should be covering, for the next 2 weeks. Now, what stinking thinking thoughts? Any negative thoughts or emotions that we may currently be having in regards to ourselves, our life, etc. We have here, I have trouble making decisions, so I must find someone strong and competent to help me. This is healing fear. Sometimes I can discover more of my own intellectual gifts and talents by making a decision alone without someone else's input. So if a lot of people have been kind of sitting and waiting to hear from the masculine, not focusing on ourselves, not focusing on our healing, on our own path, perhaps in our career, again, being unbalanced in other areas, putting all our focus into, am I going to get back with this person? Am I whatever? Don't let that be the deciding factor on whether or not you start investing in yourself. So I feel that this is the fear of forward movement, because we fear if we move forward, perhaps, and then if we truly let go and let God, perhaps we're fearing that if we let go, then we're going to lose that person. So we cling on to the ruminating thoughts. We cling on to keep trying to, you know, um, have whether or not we are with someone, or with the person that we're wanting to reconcile with, be the deciding factor on whether or not we move forward. But regardless, you need to be moving forward. And what is meant to be will be. If someone's meant to come back, if they've learned and grown and they're going to come back, they will. If not, you're freeing yourself up to having that door become open for a new person to come into your life. So don't feel like you need anyone's decisions or input or answers in order to, again, invest in yourself and invest in your future and be making steps towards that. Don't stay stagnant. Don't cling to the past. Again, what is meant to be will be. And that is that. So get over our fear. This is healthy love. If I love someone, I need to take care of them if they're in pain or suffering. If I love someone who is in pain, I can allow them space if they need to solve a problem in their own private way. This kind of was very similar thing to what the masculine got, as far as their thing about fear of being alone. So, there could have been a lot of codependency issues here. Obviously, if it was a karmic situation, the two of you were brought together because you each have wounding that needed to be addressed, brought to the surface, holding up mirrors, being teacher and student to each other. And a lot of people who were in these types of relationships, or codependent types of relationships, two people feeding each other's wounds, again, enabling people in their karma. There's a difference between being supportive and then allowing ourselves to become taken advantage of, because we're always trying to heal someone else or take on someone else's issues or someone else's problems or someone else's financial whatever, and not allowing people to grow on their own, to learn to fend for themselves, to heal whatever karma that they have. Again, we have to be careful of that feeling a need to save or heal someone else. You can, again, be supportive of someone, but allow them the space that they need to learn and grow on their own. And sometimes that takes breaking up with someone, not talking to someone anymore, especially if they weren't treating you right or whatever the situation was, because when you're not keep trying to force somebody to be the way that you, whether they should be that way or not, or whether you want them to be that way, again, someone who is stuck in their ways, in their karma, in their wounding, you can't force healing on someone. You can't force growth on someone. Again, sometimes you need to allow people the space, including allowing yourself the space to, in that separation, to do some self-reflecting, to do some healing, to get your own stuff together, allow them to get their own stuff together. And again, if something's meant to be, it'll be. But again, we can't heal other people. We can't force them to see things a certain way or to be a certain way. They have to want that for themselves, and they should learn how to attain that themselves. And I think because, as we've seen in the readings, a lot of feminines did pull back. A lot of feminines took back their love, took back their investment, took back their time and their energy, and kind of let the masculine simmer in the loss, which was necessary, again, for their growth and healing. You stop feeding into something, it makes that person realize, again, what the truth of a situation, we hope. So again, allowing people to grow and to heal and to learn on their own, and not feel like we always gotta heal them. Now we have here healthy joy. I feel happiest if I'm busy, productive, or at work on something. And I can be happy and love myself whether I am working or at rest. This is just about being easy on the way that we think about ourselves. I mean, obviously, being productive and working on something and being busy is positive, um, and it's working towards something. So obviously, these feelings of happiness and what's the other thing, accomplishment comes into play. But also, understanding that if we've been a little bit in a rut or a little bit depressed or kind of putting things off, we needed to allow that time for healing and to kind of be okay with taking a bit of a lull. But at the same time, we can't sit in that, as I've mentioned to the masculine as well. Now is the kind of time to get busy, get productive, and to be working on yourself or working towards something, to manifest your highest and best. But be at peace if you need to, again, take some time. And then we have healthy love. Again, one of the most important parts of a loving relationship is that someone gives me what I need. When I love someone, they are my better half. They complete me. If I cannot get a need met in a relationship, unable to get that need satisfied, in some other way, I am a whole person, whether I'm alone or with someone. This kind of, again, plays into the masculine thing about the fear of being alone, always having to be in a relationship, of seeking validation outside of ourselves, that we are worthy, because we got someone loving us, or feeling, again, because two broken halves don't make a whole. You have to be whole on your own, whether you're in a relationship or not. And obviously, then if you find someone to be in a relationship with, because you are whole on your own, it's a relationship that is based with healthy love and not need-based or fear-based love. Again, pacifying wounds that we need to heal and address in ourselves. I said the same thing to the masculine. So there is some similarities with the masculine and the feminine in regards to fears of being alone, not low self-esteem, this stemming all from wounding, abandonment issues, again. So no other person can complete you. You have to be, again, complete within yourself. They can complement you. And that's what you should be looking for, someone who compliments you, because otherwise, when that person leaves, then you're left in devastation, because you feel like you can't go on, or you can't live, you can't make decisions, you can't move forward unless you have this person. So again, it's learning to be okay with being alone, okay with not having to, again, have things when we want them, because again, what we want and what we need might be two totally different things. And a lot of masculines and feminines, all these soulmates, they needed to be separated because they were in karmic cycles. They needed time apart, again, to live and learn on their own. So that way, if a reconciliation comes about, you got two people that are coming to it with wisdom, with maturity, with lessons being learned, and with changed behaviors and thought patterns about themselves and about what love should really look like. And again, never look outside of yourself for validation. Never look outside of yourself to feel complete and whole. And never look for someone else to provide you with something that you need to be able to provide to yourself. And then, healthy body. My hormones aren't stable. My lower back is my weakness. My relationships are true partnerships. I give as much as I get back. I am able to give birth to my creativity in a way in which I get a healthy level of recognition and compensation. Now, masculine got a healthy body thing too, and it involved their weight or something, like feeling self-conscious again about their looks, or somehow this experience is playing a part in self-indulging too much, maybe drowning the sorrows in the vino or the cookies or whatever it is. So there was some kind of self-consciousness there in regards to the body, and same as here, that there's something going on where we need to become balanced emotionally. Hormones deal with our emotions, and that could be stress, depression can play a part in how we feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And know that, again, we can't overextend ourselves. We can't give more than we receive. This came under, even though I didn't clarify it with this, but it fell under this same one about, needing to take care of other people and solve their pains and sufferings. And it's knowing again that it's about balance. And also, again, being able to focus on yourself, focus on your own healing, focus on your own growth, whether you're with someone or not. And again, perhaps moving towards your dreams, doing something with your career, being creative in some way, that's going to bring you abundance, prosperity, good fortune, and perhaps as part of your divine path, what you came here to do. So when we get our mental and emotional self in check, we reduce our stress levels, our depression, or whatever, and we start focusing on healing and on the self, we're able to manifest healthy relationships and also things that are going to bring abundance into our life, again, which could be career, etc. And then we have here another healthy body. My weight is always a struggle. My digestive tract is sensitive to stress. I don't know if this was the card, but maybe during the separation, both the masculine and the feminine have been drowning their sorrows in certain things and kind of let themselves go a little bit, which I find amusing. But again, if you're mirrors, you're probably a lot in the same state of being, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And this one here is, I have a healthy self-esteem in multiple areas of my life. I'm satisfied with my ability to fit into a family, a relationship, and a career. I feel good about my intellect and my ability to have a voice in the world. Actually, this is the same card that the masculine got. So again, this kind of plays a part on that. When we're healthy within ourselves, healthy mindset, healthy emotional self, healthy physical self, our self-esteem automatically gets a boost. We then have confidence to go for our dreams, to manifest the things that we want, to get out of our own way, because again, we're feeling good about ourselves. So if you have kind of let yourself go a little bit, just like, and this seemed to fall, and this fell under the card of where, I'm happy with whether I'm working or at rest. But again, maybe we've been too much at rest. Maybe we've been, again, isolating or drowning our sorrows and things, packed on a few pounds, kind of sitting in the woe is me, the sadness, the whatever, and it's kind of, but it's time. And this is the same message I gave for the masculine. It's kind of time to see what we need to see, learn what we need to learn, apply what we need to apply, invest where we need to invest, and that is mainly at this time in ourselves. Because again, what we take care of internally manifests outwardly. And as I told the masculine as well, if you are separated from someone and you're meant to be with that person, this separation was necessary. As painful as it may have been, it was necessary for both of you. But now is the time for both of you to kind of start getting it in gear. start focusing on the present, what you can do in the present to manifest the future that you want. Because we can't stay stagnant. Life goes on. Cycles begin and cycles end. So it's kind of going with the flow, and now it's time to flow and get going. Um, and releasing again what needs to be released, heal what needs to be healed, and gain a different perspective on ourselves, on the lessons, on life, having hope and faith, etc. And what is the challenge, lesson, obstacle, block? The Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, and withholding. So, hey, where is this book? Oh, I was going to say, don't make me lose it. Number 20. The Lady of the Gift brings the message of tithing. To be your ally, she requires you to look at the nature and method of your giving to others. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. Yet this doesn't necessarily mean giving money away, nor does it imply a direct action of charity, even though the tradition of tithing is material. In fact, the kind of tithing the lady asks of you isn't tangible or material at all. She asks you to look at all human beings as important in the divine scheme of things and show others that you believe in them. Pay attention to how you treat people and be mindful of your perception, even of seemingly poor strangers. If you see others as successful and abundant and act as if you believe they have value, blessings all around are assured. Your belief in others has greater value than you could fathom. This alone guarantees your success long term. Remember that you can only keep what you're willing to give. Now, the same was kind of with the masculine in regards to, fear, not being fearful of opening up, of giving again. And also, you have to give in order to receive, but don't be the only one giving and not receiving anything. Again, having balanced relationships, balanced perspectives on what love should look like. And the thing about if you see others as successful and abundant and act as if you believe they have value, feeling, and value, blessings all around are assured. Now, if we're going by people feeding off of each other's energies, soulmates, twin flames reflecting whatever, if you're having negative thoughts and feelings about a person or a situation, and if that person has indeed learned and changed, even though they may not have voiced that to you yet, whatever you're projecting out, that's stemming from, again, holding on to the past hurts, again, especially even if they were more the doer of the do and you were on the receiving end of it, we get what we allow, and we seen the crack way before we saw the ass. So how long you stayed in a situation, how long you endured mistreatment, we have to hold ourselves accountable for that. We are responsible for our own well-being, and we can't use the excuse of I stay because I love them, so you let yourself get dragged through the mud, but you weren't loving yourself. And for a lot of feminines, the lesson was about self-love, self-respect. Well, it is for both always, but about having boundaries. Again, not letting oneself get taken advantage of, not giving more than you receive, not feeling like you got to take on all of their problems, including your own, while they're just, reaping all the benefits. If you were involved in something like that, or, codependent situations, if you were with someone and you allowed them to take advantage of you financially for a long time, again, enabling them in their karma when they needed to learn how to be more self-sufficient and not take advantage of people. You needed to learn not to be taken advantage of and not enabling someone for a ridiculous amount of time, because obviously that's somebody that's not really trying to change. Everybody goes through hardships, but if you have the same issue for years, then it's something with you or them, I should say. So again, letting people give you excuses, allowing things to go on longer than they should have, allowing ourselves to get taken advantage of. So that's why when things ended, you felt even more betrayed, because, or, kicking yourself in the butt because we allowed something. Um, when I talk about, if we're still holding on to that view of, not, because they also have this card here next to it, impartiality. It's about, again, it takes two to tango. Everyone accepting accountability for the roles that they played. And that should help with the forgiveness, because we have to forgive ourselves for forgive them for whatever, especially if we're knowledgeable about psychology, spiritual paths, childhood wounding. We can understand why people are the way they are. That doesn't mean that we should, just allow them to be that way. If it's making us miserable, cut ties and see you later. Lesson learned, move on to something else. But if the other person involved is learning, is changing, like I said, and maybe they haven't voiced that to you yet, if you're still projecting out those negative emotions, they're feeling that, and which is probably preventing them from coming forward, because energetically they feel that because of that connection. So be mindful of your perception. Try to be impartial. See both sides of the coin. Both people holding themselves accountable, for what they did, for what they allowed, and try to, again, shift your energy to becoming more positive, to be more in the present moment, and put out the energy of what you would like: someone loyal, someone faithful, someone kind, someone loving. Like, put out all those intentions. And if this person is starting to embody those intentions, somehow energetically they may pick up on that and feel more confident to approach you. So that, I feel, kind of goes with that. Now, speaking of the next one, we have, for the chakras, we have the crown chakra, impartiality, as I've just kind of touched on. Third eye chakra, which is our sixth sense, we have balance, which is kind of like the same. She's balancing two things. They're balancing two things. Grief, which is the same card that the masculine had. Vanity, which is the same card as the masculine had. This was throat chakra. This was heart chakra. Miracle, same one that the masculine had. This is solar plexus. Sacral chakra, we have passion. And at the root, we have complacency. The masculine had soulmate. So again, with these ones, for the exact same chakras, that's what's making me think that we're kind of talking about two people that are kind of meant to come back together, because they have these same things to let go of. Now, impartiality, put up here. Take an impartial look at your situation. The action here is to listen and observe. Personal inquiry: if I step back from my present situation, what do I see? How can I be neutral? Key ideas: neutral position, allowing things to unfold, standing in another's shoes, uplifted communication. Keywords: guide, open-mindedness, and fairness. Again, especially if we're trying to deal with reconciliation situations, we have to be willing to forgive and release, and be open to some kind of renewal. So there is going to need, but again, as I always say, know what you're dealing with. Don't forgive, narcissists or pathological liars or pathological cheaters, again, because patterns of behavior don't lie, and the likelihood of somebody changing is slim to none, especially the older that they are. So again, know with what you're dealing with. Don't be so forgiving and welcome them back into the fold just to get like run through the mill again. But from what I read with the masculine, what I'm reading from this, what I'm reading from most of the weeklies and the monthlies, you know, the masculines that have been in the readings have been self-reflecting, have been learning some kind of lesson, the majority. Again, you'll know based on what you've been met with. But try to, if someone does come back and they are showing with words, actions, and consistency, you know, and if you follow your intuition, really kind of reflect on things and this person and take things slow, but be willing to be impartial in some way, because everybody makes mistakes, and this was obviously a lesson that you both had to learn. It was a soul contract, and maybe you're meant to be life partners, so obviously there's going to have to be some kind of higher understanding here. But again, like I always say, know what you're dealing with. Now balance, this is the third eye. Running towards something may chase it away. Be wary of being deceived by your own desires. That's the inspirational message. Personal inquiry. I take me with me wherever I go. Is there a part of my life that may be out of alignment with who I am? Key ideas: chasing illusions, health matters, compulsive behavior, dietary imbalance, being result oriented, self neglect, honoring values. Keywords: assistance, courtesy, and support. So this kind of touches on what we spoke about up here: taking care of oneself, nurturing oneself, investing in oneself. Don't chase anything. You know, the runner and the chaser. Don't chase something, because again, it makes that person run. And a lot of feminines, as I said, stop chasing. They step back, and now the script has been flipped, as they say, and now it's the masculine who might be pursuing the feminine. You know, don't be deceived by your own desires. Again, projection can cause a lot of problems. You know, when we don't fool yourself. Again, know what you're dealing with. Know what you want, what you don't want, what you'll settle for, what you won't settle for. Be clear with yourself. And don't let yourself be deceived by anyone else either. You know, don't be out of alignment with who you are. Stand in your truth, stand in your integrity, do what you feel is best for you. Let's talk about here health matters. It's kind of up here too, stuff with the body. So, and invest in your health. This is a dietary imbalance. Be result oriented. Again, focus on yourself, on your future, on your career. You know, have something you're moving towards. Don't neglect yourself. Honor yourself. Again, your morals, your values, your standards, your dreams, aspirations, etc. And it says here about assistance, courtesy, and support. So you can see the people in the card, they look pretty annoyed down the bottom. And this is kind of falls with the impartiality. Two people that might be at odds with each other, being at odds with oneself. But it's trying to bring that into perspective, bring that into balance, bring ourselves into balance, bring a relationship into balance. Again, if we're dealing with any kind of reconciliation thing, don't lose sight of that balanced thing, because then we can fall into codependency, enabling, you know, people taking advantage, etc. 50-50. And then we have grief for the heart. Inspiration, Penelope and Pickle. That's the lady and the dog on the card. Remind us that what we reveal, we can heal. Give yourself time, you will love again. If you honor your pain, it will change your life. So it's again about just recognizing our pains, allowing ourselves time to heal, honoring the feelings that we're having, but also allowing it to transcend, being open to the next phase, being willing to release the grief and the pains of the past, and applying the lessons learned for the future, to not close oneself off, again, to not feel fearful of love or of opening up again. Just be wise next time around. Be discerning. Know what you're dealing with, um, including your own tendencies. Heal thyself so we don't repeat. Key ideas: feeling grief, healing process, missing someone or something, being afraid of sadness, love is on the horizon. Personal inquiry: is lingering grief preventing me from progress? What can I see in my heart? Again, it's about release, about letting go, not staying too much in the woe-is, not letting a person or a situation that's happened take away your personal power. Acknowledge the pain, let it do what it's meant to do as far as teaching you what it was meant to teach you, and be willing to release it, because it'll only help you in the end, because possibly love is on the horizon. And perhaps you are missing someone, and perhaps that person is missing you too, if it's the divine masculine, the way that reading went. So again, it's energy still needs to be cleared out in order for the law of attraction to happen here. What you put out, you get back. If you put out anger and resentment and I can't stand this person, then you're going to get back a person who feels like you're angry and can't stand them, and they're not going to reach out. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So try to just clear the energy. And keywords are love, commitment, and vulnerability. Again, honoring our feelings and not letting whatever's transpired keep us from moving forward, or being open to a new relationship or reconciliation, or being open again with someone. And then we got vanity again, which deals about the ego, fear, um, and, what's the other friggin' word I'm looking for? Pride, etc., etc. Vanity, inspiration. This is throat chakra. We all say we will stop when we've had enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. Never look outside yourself for validation. Never look outside yourself for someone else to make you feel that you're worthy, because that's a mistake. That should come from within. Never be waiting on somebody else and having that make you feel less than or unworthy of, and keep you from investing in yourself or moving forward, holding you prisoner in some way. Personal inquiry: am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? Well, you should be growing away from limiting relationships because they're not allowing you to grow. Also, feeling disconnected, maybe we've self-isolated a bit. Maybe we are afraid of, investing in new people or opening up to past people, or again, just kind of being in hermit mode. So we need to let go of any feelings that might be holding us back from getting out there. Our fear of letting go of things that no longer serve us. That includes relationships. Key ideas: environmental tension, living in illusion, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, and empty conversations. Obviously, lesser companions and empty conversations, don't need any of that, right? Again, anything that's holding you back or that's not making you happy, gotta go. or again, or if people are not showing you that they've learned, changed, or grown, or capable of holding themselves accountable. Um, those are empty conversations to me. They ain't saying much, just saying the same old, same old. Keywords: faith, awareness, and transformation. So having faith, gaining a broader perspective, a higher awareness, and allowing cycles to end and new ones to begin, allowing transformation to take place, especially within yourself. No more doubting yourself. You have the power to change. You know, if you're not happy in your current environment, you have the power to change that. And then we have, let me see, miracle. This is solar plexus. Do you let someone in, or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. Personal inquiry: the essence of inspiration is integrity. Can I be counted on? Key ideas: being a light, lighting the way for others, coming miracles. Keywords: integrity, gifts, and reward. So this is being open to the gifts that the universe has for us. It's also, being a light and lighting the way for others. Maybe that's what you came here to do. Maybe you had to go through an experience in order to realize what your purpose was. And maybe you were meant to help other people through a similar situation that you went through, kind of like me. Um, Having faith again in coming miracles, standing in your integrity, standing in your truth, not settling for less. Don't fall back into any old behaviors. Don't let anything hold you back. Be inspired. The universe is counting on you. Do you let someone in? Or do you pretend not to see them? Especially if it's someone from the past coming back, right? Do I let them in, or do I ignore them? Because But this is also again about fear. You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. The walls that we put up, they help to protect us, but they also keep out things that might bring us happiness and joy. So it's about letting go of fear. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. Maybe that's where the kindness comes in as far as the impartiality, the forgiveness, etc. Now, passion. This is sacral. Inspiration: you are correct to feel passionate about your position. Follow your instincts, for you know intuitively what is right for you. Personal inquiry: are my daily actions supporting my real passion? What am I willing to stand for? Key ideas: following your passion, being authentic, taking a stand for yourself, being acknowledged, feeling ostracized by family, friends, being emotionally centered, strong feminine energy, a happy outcome. Keywords: passion, bravery, loyalty. Well, obviously, it's asking you to embody, the feminine energy, being self-reliant, self-sufficient, having self-love, self-respect, boundaries, standing in your truth, following your dreams, following your passions, being true to yourself, taking a stand again against anyone that might trespass against your boundaries or mistreat you in any way. Make sure that you are doing something daily to support your real passions, what you want in life, working towards certain goals, following one's instincts. Like I said, what's right for you, even in regards to reconciling. If you don't feel it, you don't feel, do, this is general. So again, do what you feel is right for you. You'll know. And some of you are justified and correct in feeling the way that you feel. But I think what they're trying to say, that if someone else has learned and changed and grown, and they're trying to show you that, to kind of be open to hearing them out, allowing them to show and prove, and be willing to give things another try again, but don't fall back into the karma. Be sure that you still hold your new position, your strong feminine energy, for a happy outcome. Because otherwise, we'll be back in the same old, same old. And then we have complacency at the root. This is like sitting around doing nothing, waiting for the one to return, so then we can feel like we can be alive and happy and joyous and move forward and stuff. It's like we need to have them around in order to do it. I'm saying don't do that. Don't do that. Complacency. Inspiration. This is a warning not to give up. Beware of coasting along in a situation that is not what you really want. You will never be fulfilled by the unmet dreams of others. Personal inquiry. How can I redefine my dreams? How can I stop procrastinating? Learn how to get out of your own way. Key ideas. Finding self-nourishment, leaving dreams unrealized, feeling depleted, time for deep rest, lack of motivation, holding back. Keywords. Daring, indomitability. You know how many times I've struggled with that word? And reclamation. Reclaim your power. Reclaim your life. Be daring. Don't be passive. Don't let life pass you by. Don't sit in the woest. You might be feeling in the woest, but try not to. Don't leave your dreams unrealized. Don't neglect yourself. Care, invest in yourself. Self-nourishment. Again, how can you redefine your dreams? How can I stop procrastinating? Again, don't put things off. Time moves without you. And if you're here for a certain purpose, the universe wants you to get the let out, because you're meant to do something here. Rise to the occasion. Fated events and destiny, things that were meant to happen for a reason, and your free will choice after that event determines your destiny. And there's a good destiny and a bad destiny, and you want to get on the good destiny. Don't let something, again, destroy you to the point where you do nothing with yourself. Don't give up. Don't coast along. And also don't stay in anything. Stay in a situation or in a reality or a frame of mind or whatever that's not making you happy, or that you know that you don't want, because you'll never be fulfilled. Especially waiting around for other people. Do you? That's the thing. Don't feel all is lost. So the masculine was the same thing. Just all in the lowest. So if that's any consolation for some people, again, but this is general. It's not like a personal reading that I'm doing for you and your other person. But if your other person is resonating with the masculines, they learned, or they're learning, and they may be trying to approach, but they're feeling like whatever, because perhaps there's some energy that you're still kicking out, either to their face or just energetically, or both. So heal and release. Now, we have some positive things here for you. I always remember that I am a spiritual being. Again, you're your soul here in human form to experience and learn and evolve, etc. Your true essence is your soul, which is eternal and exists in an ocean of love. You are not your body. So anybody having body image issues, self-esteem issues, whatever it is, try to come back to the truth of who you are, a soul on a journey, and love yourself no matter what. No matter what circumstance, no matter what you may look like at the moment. And here we have, I release negative thoughts and emotions from my life. As it said, what you feel internally is projected outwardly, and you get back what you put out. So when you let go of negative thoughts and emotions, you'll discover inner peace, joy, and happiness, and they will also attract that to you. I remember that only love is real. Love is the energy that fills the universe. Love fills every cell of your body, every atom of your being. So try to come back to love, especially self-love. And then we have here, I am an immortal spiritual being. You will not die when your body dies. A part of you goes on. You will be reunited with your loved ones because they're also immortal. So this is all again about kind of bringing home the whole spiritual aspect of why you're here, why all things happen, etc., so that we can perhaps be assisted in our thinking and our perspectives that will keep us from sitting in the woes or hanging on to the past or hanging on to anger, hurt, resentment, anything that might be blocking us on our spiritual path. And then we have this flower here. I'm willing to find new ways to express my creativity. So again, some people might be destined to do something creatively. So get out of this and get on to you and your path and what you came here to do, or what brings you happiness and joy expression wise. My dreams become reality as I open myself to limitless possibilities. Again, believing in yourself, trying to be positive, have faith, be hopeful, be a co-creator with the universe to help manifest your highest and best. As I surrender to what is, each moment is a miracle. It is what it is, it ain't what it ain't, and it ain't what it could be. Try to be in the present moment. See all things as an opportunity to learn and grow, etc., etc. I accept my own perfection, but of course, right? It's know that regardless of your age, what you look like, what you've been through, you are a divine soul here on a journey. You are loved by the universe, and you are perfect in the eyes of the universe. Even with all your thought of flaws, again, it's all part of the journey, right? And then more advice here. Warrior. Meet Michigan rough and tumble. He knows his teeth are sharp and his claws are his prized possession. Carefully honed to points, he is a little ninja, but has a heart of love and softness. We can call on Michigan when we need to stand up for ourselves and set boundaries or be daring. So whether you're about to climb a giant boulder or take a leap of faith or ask to be paid what you're worth, remember little Michigan and his bravery. Yes, he did whack that big scary dog in the nose, even though he's only a kitten. So again, it's about, as we mentioned here again, boundaries, standing up for yourself, having a voice, speaking your truth, having integrity, doing what is best for you. Don't be a doormat. Don't let yourself be walked on. Don't try to jump through hoops, trying to chase somebody or keep somebody. Again, know your worth. And even though you've been through some difficulties, some hardships, some disappointments, know that you're a warrior. You made it through. Don't let it harden you. And know that you can tackle whatever comes. Just love yourself first, and all other things will fall into place. And then we have balance. I have balance here in Farce. It's all about balance. Feminine must be all out of whack, huh? Meet Vero Tiptoe Skies. She can balance perfectly with an inner precision and assurance. She leans one way and then the other, constantly adjusting and learning where her center lies. She understands the dichotomies. Dichotomies? Work and play. Dichotome? Must be. Togetherness and solitude, inner reflection and outward expression, striving and letting go, accepting and changing, freedom and discipline, reason and intuition, spiritual expansion and grounding. They go on and on. Let Varro help you to see what areas of your life are out of balance and what shifts you can make to return to a graceful equilibrium. So it's again not being so immersed in one area, which has been both for the masculine and the feminine in regards to the loss of a relationship or what you went through. And then we start neglecting ourselves and engaging in negative self-talk, shoulda, woulda, couldas, regrets, anger, resentment, not believing in ourselves, not feeling worthy, no longer investing in ourselves, feeling hopeless, having no faith, having no trust that the universe provides. All these things is throwing us out of balance. It's creating blocks. And again, it's needing to learn how to get out of one's own way, not self-sabotage with any stinking thinking, not letting a person or an experience keep you in the in the barrels of despair. Again, better days are ahead. There's gonna be some shitty ones too, I ain't gonna lie. It's just that's life, you know. But better things are coming, or they're wanting to come in, if again we release what needs to be released and we heal and we start looking towards the future, right? Meditation. Meet Chutney. One day after a particularly deep meditation, he began to radiate and float. He loves to simultaneously be fully present in his body and his spirit. By simply closing his eyes and observing his breath, he is able to feel what is truly going on within himself. Each subtle sensation becomes vivid with its own unique texture and energy. His mind is like the wide open sky, and his thoughts are like clouds floating by. He watches them arise and dissipate without judgment. Practice with Chutney and watch your awareness brighten until life itself becomes a moving meditation. So this is again, it's about self-reflection, higher understandings, going within like the hermit, gaining that wisdom, understanding the reason why all things happens, going with the ebb and flow of life, trying to release judgment on ourselves, on others. Again, everything's a living and learning experience. Be grateful for the lesson. Be grateful for the gift that it brought you, even if it was covered in crap. There was a gem in the experience, and the gem was within you, and you needed to discover what that was. And for a lot of people, again, it was self-love and self-respect. Never love someone else more than you love yourself. Never let somebody mistreat you or drag you through the mud. Twin flame, soulmate, I don't care who it is. That is the lesson. There's a difference between healthy love and dysfunctional love. And until we heal ourselves, we will always attract the latter. The latter was dysfunctional, wasn't it? I can't remember. But you know what I'm saying. Now, speaking of love, deception. Here it comes. Deception. And the clarifying was the fool and storm. So what is this? Can we heal from the deceptions of the past? Should we take a leap of faith and try to fix the situation or weather the storm? Or do perhaps we feel foolish about, fooling ourselves, deceiving ourselves in regards to a situation? Jumped in before we leapt, before we looked, kind of thing. And then we have here gain, clarifying that was dark-haired man and stop, look, listen. So this gain is about victory or forward movement. Kind of reminds me of Six of Wands in the Chariot. Dark-haired man is obviously the shadow side of the person you were dealing with. Stop, look, listen. They're asking you to pay attention to something, that a possible forward movement can be had in regards to someone, or maybe they're telling you need to move on from somebody. But we'll clarify some more here. We have home, and clarifying that was solitude, growth, fame, and fair gray-haired man. So perhaps the dark-haired man has learned his lesson, and he's now become the fair gray-haired man. He's matured. There could be possible success and growth in a relationship, or you're trying to figure out if there can be. Perhaps, again, someone might be looking to reconcile. So this regards your home life, and you're doing some reflecting on whether or not to let somebody back in. Do I ignore them, or do I see them? Um, then we have the lady, and clarified by forgiveness, heartbreak, confusion. So the lady could be you, or this is just about using one's intuition. As I mentioned here about healing, obviously we're needing to, someone's looking for forgiveness, or we're needing to give some forgiveness, or both, to heal a heartbreaking situation. But we aren't sure on whether or not we should forgive, perhaps. Perhaps there's no trust here. Perhaps because we went through something with somebody who was a liar. We got love, clarified by mistake and diligence. So obviously we're wondering if we should put in some efforts, or if it's wasted efforts, if anyone's learned from their mistakes, or would it be a mistake again to invest in this person? And then we have woman of the world, clarified by a challenge, dark-haired woman, and the troubleshooter. So we got dark-haired man and dark-haired woman. Like I said, both people in their shadow self. Fear, anxiety, worry, stress, sadness, regret, all of that stuff. Troubleshooter is trying to figure out a way how to come out of that. That's the challenge. How to release the grief, to see things from a balanced perspective, to believe that perhaps sometimes maybe somebody can change. It would be a friggin' miracle. Who knows? Maybe we're needing to let go of our fears here, and realize the gift or the opportunity that's presenting itself here. But again, we're conflicted. And as I said, know what you're dealing with. Don't say, well, you told me to take him back and he was a narcissist. You'll know. You know anything about narcissistic personality disorder, you'll know. But that doesn't mean that a narcissist, in their desperation, won't become honest and all of a sudden reveal all these things. Because again, check people's motives and agendas. Make sure it is genuine. Get all the facts. Know the truth. Don't jump in. Let things unfold naturally. Give people time to prove themselves. That's how you know. Because words and actions can be temporary. You know what I mean? Just to serve an agenda. Consistency. Stop, look, listen. Donna de servizio. This is the servant, the helper, someone who's helpful. Somebody's looking for help. Watch out for them codependents. Look for some financial help, because this Donna de servizio comes in a lot for that. And this is also about possible, I believe, progress that can be had. It's positive. Hold on. Donna de servizio. Maid, help, errand, housework, employed woman, female co-worker, gift, favor, development, progress, improvement, valuable, worthy, something noble. So again, there could be progress here. There could be some development. Stop, look, listen, pay attention. There could be some victory or forward movement with the dark-haired man. But again, watch out for people who are going to be codependent again. What kind of help they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Stop, look, listen. We have La Reunion. So again, maybe there's progress or something, forward movement in a relationship. Or again, maybe somebody's just looking for help. Watch out. Oops. A dark-haired man. Dark-haired man, we have dispiacere. This is distraught, despair, depression. In the reverse, it's like deep depression. So the dark-haired man. And then we have l'amante, which is the female lover, or someone who is taken back their love. A lot of that unrequited love was coming up again because both people aren't showing their love. They aren't investing their love. They've taken back their love. And maybe the dark-haired man is depressed that you've taken back your love. Or again, you could be feeling this way because of the way someone treated you and their shadow self, and you can still be feeling the effects of that. This is also somebody that could be bitter as well. But they're saying, hey, there could be a reunion here. There could be progress, forward movements. Storm. We have Alegras al Cuore, which is joyousness or happiness or reuniting. It's kind of like the Three of Cups, which also could stand for third-party situations. So maybe the storm was, they left and were with someone else. And most likely another codependent situation, which they needed to be in because they didn't learn the lesson with you. So be happy that they went off with someone else and learned the lesson instead of keeping you in more misery and stuff. Because again, everything happens for a reason. When somebody isn't getting a lesson, the tower comes in. Either one person wakes up and initiates the tower, or the universe does. And because something had to come down because it wasn't built in truth and integrity or healthy love, because there was karma there. So again, the storm could have been the fact they left, or it was with someone else. And this is where there was deceptions involved as well. The Fool, we have Prigioni, feeling stuck. It's kind of like the Eight of Swords. Feeling stuck in one's thoughts, feeling like there's no forward movement, or wondering if they can be, stuck in one's mind about things. And we got Speranza, which is about hope, having hope. It's in the upright. So perhaps they're saying to, be willing to embrace new beginnings, have hope, get out of your head, get out of the negative thoughts that you might have of feeling stuck. Perhaps here again, it's about, an opportunity to heal a situation, but we're going to have to release whatever negative feelings that we have and try to be hopeful. Try to be happy, or try to find some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Enthusiasm in regards to a possible reunion. But again, make sure somebody ain't coming back on some codependent, deceptive tip. See, deception. La Superbia, which is arrogance, ego, irritability in the upright. Ego meaning, again, pride, anger, resentment, anything involving the ego. In the reverse, I think it's also, it's a little bit more positive. Let me see. La Superbia. Vanity, arrogance. We have vanity down here too. Vanity, arrogance, ego, pride, self-importance, pretentious, feeling good about oneself. Again, working on our self-esteem, trying to feel good about ourselves. Divine protection as well. So again, maybe we were protected by being separated from something that was not good, someone who was lying and whatever. Section, we also have Belvedere, which is look to the future, having foresight or looking at things long term. But optimism as well, which I think I've said before. You know, some people, because they've gone through an experience, again, it's now someone who is, maybe it's somebody new, could also be coming in. You know, again, a lesson might be learned. Don't be jaded. Don't lose hope in regards to love. Um, you know, if you left a toxic situation behind and that person is incapable of learning, changing, growing, then you freed yourself, you've learned that karma, and now you're opening yourself up to someone else. If you learn again how to get out of your woes or your negative thoughts, you know, allowing healing to take place, putting an effort into oneself, into one's future, learning from our mistakes in love. Or again, someone might be trying to return and we're confused. Troubleshoot la conversación, gran signore, and bambino in the reverse. So obviously there's a conversation that needs to happen or is going to happen, and gran signore kind of would be probably like the fair gray-haired man, because he's not in the reverse. In the reverse, he's a jerk. He's like the dark-haired man, in the negative parts of being a player and a liar and a cheater and narcissistic and all that. But it's in the upright. So perhaps someone is trying to come in, showing that they've changed and grown, showing that they've matured, you know, expressing some things here. They're perhaps regretful of their mistakes. Um, but we're hesitant in regards to a new beginning, with the bambino being in the reverse. That's why this is what we're trying to troubleshoot, if a beginning should be had or could be had. Diligence, we have il ladro in the reverse. This is the thief. So again, mistake, love, the thief in reverse. I think this is somebody that's caused financial issues for you. Again, some kind of codependent probably situation. Maybe we're wondering again if it's a mistake to put in the effort into this, if it'll cause more of the same. That's why we're confused. Um, or again, this is a lesson that we learned from someone who was behaving like this or that caused this. La Vecchia Senora, this is someone from the past or the past issues. This is also in the reverse. So, this is a long reading. Diligent, sound the alarm. Eladro, again, regression, demotion, relapse, not wanting to fall back into a situation, repeating past issues, repeating mistakes of the past, cycles, right? That's for the Eladro in the reverse. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Illusionante. Eladro in the reverse, insurmountable problem, breach of contract, inhospitable building, negative manifestations in the home, problematic financial situation. Again, perhaps even being involved with someone who was, again, a financial drain, who was codependent. And again, learning from that mistake, not wanting to repeat that mistake. La Vecchia Senora, something in decline. Old situations, the past, old things. Wisdom gained from the past. Again, learning from our mistakes. Woman of the World over here also stands for, it's kind of like the Knight of Pentacles lady, becoming independent, self-sufficient. Perhaps, again, that's one of our challenges. I can go on for days. It's already 1:17. I don't know if I want to clarify anymore. But I feel like for some of you, this is a past person that might be trying to come back in, that might be trying to heal the situation, but you're unsure because of things that have happened in the past, lies, deceptions, third party, codependency, financial issues. So we're unsure of kind of what to do here. For others, it might be you went through something with someone who was doing those things, and you're learning a lesson, and you're needing to heal from that, cut your losses, learn from your mistake, and be open to meeting someone else, someone that's better for you. Because I know a lot of masculines might be leaving a situation that was based in that, wanting to go back to someone else. So obviously, this could be the person who's the current karmic person who's dealing with this and whatever, or you could be the person who that person's trying to come back to. Either way. And again, in either case, it was about learning lessons about self-love, self-respect, and boundaries, and not being afraid to be alone, not entering into relationships out of needing to have someone outside of us make us feel worthy or fulfilled or whatever, because we're isolated, lonely, whatever it is. So there's a lesson for everybody. And then choose a card from over here. And this is a possible career or path. This is life purpose cards. So pick a card from there. And we'll do the first one. You're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. So if you're learning lessons and you're shedding karma, keep on. You're on the right path. You're doing what you should be doing. If you're pursuing your dreams and your career, you're on the right path. In case you were doubting your feelings and plans, this card is your angel's way of encouraging you to continue with your present dreams and goals. Just the act of having a dream has added passion and meaning to your life. Now the angels are encouraging you to take positive action steps related to your dream. They know that you'll feel happier and more energized as you devote daily time and energy to its fruition. Kind of mention that stuff up here. Begin in centering your mind and body with a few deep breaths. Close your eyes and then silently ask your guardian angels, please clearly give me signs, guidance, motivation, support, and inspiration related to my divine life purpose. Notice the thoughts and feelings you receive after making this request. Work as a team with your angels by asking them for additional information and clarity, and then follow that guidance as it occurs. And the second card, it's time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's true desires. Again, do what is best for you. Time to decide. The angels ask you to be very honest with yourself and them about your dreams and desires. What do you want? What do you wish to change? What are you waiting for? Allow yourself to acknowledge your genuine feelings. Have the courage to admit your dreams. This card indicates that if you can dream it, you can do it. The angels are encouraging you to explore your options and take charge of your life. After all, your work comprises a major portion of your daily activities. You, like everyone, deserve to spend your time in meaningful and enjoyable ways. And then lastly, freedom. You're free to do what you choose. You're not the Prigioni over here, stuck in the feeling like you can't move. You're free. It's only in your mind, yeah. Freedom. This card is a gentle reminder that you aren't a victim of outside circumstances and that you have a choice in everything you do. The angels are helping you help to shift you away from complaining that you're a victim of others who control you. Instead, heaven is shining the light upon your wise decision to take responsibility for yourself, for your life, and for your happiness. As you accept the role you've played in creating your present circumstances, you feel a corresponding sense of relief and freedom. The insight of self-responsibility frightens some initially, as it seems to carry the weight of blame. The angels help you to see that blame is a waste of time because it focuses upon past events. Instead, they empower you to envision a bright today and tomorrow for yourself and your loved ones. You have the right to change your life. You needn't wait for another's permission to take charge of your destiny. Trust your feelings to guide you towards activities and a career that are meaningful and fulfilling in every way. Just like it says up there, about waiting on somebody else, right? Waiting on somebody else in order to move forward, right? And it says don't do that. Take charge of your own destiny. Even these cards match with here. Don't you love that? I love that. But again, this is all about lessons. Same thing for the masculine. Whatever you went through, the both of you, it was necessary. It sucked really bad, but it was necessary. Because wouldn't you rather be separated from someone and have that person actually realize what they had, realize what they were doing that was wrong or hurtful or whatever, and then have them come back to you having learned and changed? That's better than staying in it. Instead, they just did it with somebody else, and that person suffered, which that might be this person here, realizing the person was only with you for whatever, you jumped into something that you went without looking, you rush into something and it turned out that they have somebody else from the past or unresolved issues from the past. And again, everything is a learning experience. And on that note, I send you love and light and healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share. Leave comments. And I think I've said everything. As it's an hour and a half. It's like a movie, isn't it? This is your life. The movie of your life. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.